How would you describe yourself as a coach to our fans out there?
I think, you know what, I show up and work hard every day. That's, you know, I love being at the rink. I love coming to the rink. I love, you know, being in and around, you know, our coaching staff. I love being in and around the players. And, you know, I think I've got a real clear understanding. As you go through a season, every single season, you're going to have challenges. You have ups and downs, you know, and those are the times that you have to embrace. I think you have to love working through some of those tougher times to make sure that you get to the better spots.
You've got a couple of high-powered offensive threats in Voracek and Giroux, and obviously you've had some opportunities to look at them on tape. And what are your early thoughts?
I love the competitiveness. You know, I think that's at the core of every great player is the competitiveness. And you know, these guys are world-class athletes, world-class talents and abilities. And when you add that competitiveness, you add that team first, you know, great teammate type of mentality. Now you have something special.
When you take a look at your program, like you had mentioned, is that you'd like to be able to get the defense moving up and getting involved. Is there a lot of emphasis on making sure that the forwards are back and doing an active job in the defensive zone? Do they play a huge part?
Well, yeah, I think, you know, it goes hand in hand. Whether it's getting up ice transitionally, whether it's playing in the offensive zone, you know, having 5 guys involved in your cycle, or if you don't have the puck, you know, working as a group of 5. Absolutely, I think, you know, you know, in terms of gaps, in terms of 5 guys being on the same page, it absolutely is a two-way street.
When we talk about bringing that puck up, and you talk about defensemen that love to be able to jump up in the play, it's got to make you look forward to seeing guys like Del Zotto and Strite, people that play that exact type of hockey back on the blue line.
Yeah, guys that can see the game from back there and see the spots and see the holes and know when the right time is to jump and to be involved. You know, those are special abilities, and I think we've got guys back on the blue line that have those abilities to see the game and to add to the game offensively from the blue line.
Do you have a philosophy on what you like to see in your goalie as far as the number of games they play, the rotation you like to see?
Again, you know, we talk a lot about abilities of different players and the skills that everybody needs to have, but again, it's that poise and that presence to carry yourself from the locker room, you know, out onto the ice surface, and you know, which is what you said is a tough position. It's a spot, you know, it's a spotlight position, one that is always going to garner some attention on any given night. So again, you know, I think that poise, that presence of our number 1 guy is very important.
We have a new buzzword in the NHL, analytics. Have you been involved in it at all? And if not, what are your thoughts on it now that you have been?
Yeah, I think on the surface, I've been involved with it a little bit, just scratching the surface. And I think, you know, for me, number 1, there's so much information available. So I think probably everybody is a little bit different in the information that they would like to see, and maybe what has meaning or does not have meaning. But to be able to have the resources that we do have here, you know, to gain that knowledge and that information, I think is really critical.
Entering the season, every coach has a different philosophy on how they're going to handle as far as like goals, like dividing the season up into sections, and all different types of ideas. What would your thought be on what your goal is for this season and how you're going to set it up?
You know, I'm going to involve our entire staff in that discussion. A lot of those discussions are going to take place over the summer, behind closed doors, and it'll start with our staff. In terms of conveying that then to our players, you know, I haven't been here a long time, but I've had enough opportunity to speak to a lot of the guys, have a chance to meet a lot of them in person, and I know that this is a driven group. It's a driven group of players, you know, coming off of a season where they certainly, you know, are not satisfied. This will be a driven group going in. So we'll set our goals. We'll do that as a staff. We'll do that as a team, and we will instill those things and talk about them, for the most part, behind closed doors.
Dave, thanks very much for taking time, and I really welcome you to Philadelphia, and we certainly looking forward to September coming around. Thank you very much.